Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Partha Mistry from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Dear friends, today we discuss our technical topic, that is mesh analysis from chapter number 1, network theorems, of our subject electrical circuit analysis, having the subject code 3130-906, semester 3rd, year 2nd, electrical engineering department. In this video we discuss about mesh analysis, why we need mesh analysis, what is the importance of mesh analysis, and what is the concept of super mesh analysis using different examples. Here is the flow of content of our video. First we discuss about the introduction of mesh analysis, then one example we discuss, then we go for the concept of super mesh analysis, and regarding super mesh analysis, more to example today we discuss, that is example number 2 and example number 3. Introduction of mesh analysis. First of all, what is mesh or what is loop? Both are the similar words. So definition is that any closed electrical path in a network is called as a loop. Any closed electrical path, we know that to flow the electricity, one closed path is needed. Without closed path, electric current will not flow. It is the essence of flow of electricity. You should have closed path with different element, either resistor, either inductor, either capacitor. So any closed electrical path in a network is called as a loop. We have already defined a mesh as a loop. We can call as a mesh or we can call as a loop, both are the same, which does not contain any other loop within it. Only one loop will be there, so there is no another loop will be considered at a time. We now consider a method called mesh analysis for the network analysis. Although this method is not applicable to every network, it can be applied to most of the networks we shall need to analyze. If we want to analyze such kind of network for the calculation of such parameter like voltage, current, power, and so many more parameters, so for that particular network we adopt the mesh analysis technique. Note that the mesh analysis is applicable only to those networks which are planar, so it is applicable to planar graph. We discuss one example over here, so how the mesh analysis work actually. So let us discuss the example number 1. The question is that for a network of following figure, determine the current Ix using mesh analysis. So in this network, we find the value of Ix, which is placed over here having the downward direction. So in exam, this kind of figure is given to find out such quantity. In this case, we have to find the value of current. So first of all, we introduce the current I1 and I2 over here. So in exam, this current is not given. You draw the line of current by yourself. We have to put I1 and I2 in such case. So first, in first loop, we consider the I1 current to be flow, and in second loop we consider the I2 current will be flow. So in second loop, Ix is already given, so we can write that I2 which is equals to Ix, because both are same, both are flowing from the second loop. So we have to find the value of Ix in this case. So if we find the value of I2, it is nothing but the Ix. So in this case we have to find the value of I2, so we can get the value of Ix over here. So consider the two loops over here. So two loops is provided over here. So in first loop, 6 volt voltage source is feeding, and 10 ohm is placed over here. One dependent source is given, so voltage source is given, its dependency is provided over here on the voltage source. So this source is kept as it is in the circuit. We have to just take in the calculation. So let us start the example. Our aim is to find the value of I2. It is nothing but the Ix. So assume the mesh current I1 and I2 as shown in the following figure. So in both the loop we apply the Kirchhoff voltage law and we get the equation like this. So 10 into I1, 10 into I1. Again the current will flow from this direction. So from the source, voltage source, the current will flow from positive to negative, plus to minus. So the current will flow in this direction. We can say it is in discharging mode. So plus 8ix. Again go forward. Here 2 ohm is given. So plus 2 into bracket I1 minus I2, because 2 ohm is contributed in both the loop number 1 and loop number 2. It is placed between these two loops. So into bracket I1 minus I2 we take. Why I1 minus I2? Because in this case we consider the loop number 1, and in loop number 1 majority current is I1. So that's why 2 into bracket I1 minus I2, because the difference of both the current will be flow from the 2 ohm, which is equals to 6 ohm. So again y plus 6 is provided. So direction of current is like this, and minus 2 plus current will be flow from 6 volt source. So minus 2 plus means charging mode. So minus 6 equal to 0, and minus 6 will be go to the right hand side and it will be plus 6. So we can write directly over here, that is equals to 6, equation number 1. Similarly, apply the Kirchhoff voltage law in loop number 2. So start from the 4 volt source. So current will be flow like this. I2 will be flowing clockwise, we consider over here. So plus to minus 4 ohm. So 4, what are the current will be flow? That is Ix. So 4 into Ix, plus again current will flow from this direction. So plus 2 into bracket I2 minus I1. Why I2 minus I1? Because we consider the loop number 2, and in loop number 2 majority current is I2. So the difference of I2 and I1 will flow from the 2 ohm for the loop number 2. Minus 2 plus again from 8I1, that is minus 2 plus direction, current flow from upward side. So minus 2 plus will be flow, and the direction is negative because it is in charging mode. So minus 8ix. Again go forward. Here one voltage source is given. Plus to minus means plus 4 equal to 0, and 4 will be go to the right hand side and we get the minus 4 over here. So this is all about the mass equation for the both the loops. So we know that in loop number 2 we have to find the value of Ix. So Ix is nothing but the I2. So put I2 instead of Ix. So we get the 10I1 plus 8I2. So instead of Ix put I2. So 8I2 plus 2 times I1 minus I2 equals to 6. Again simplify the second equation. So we get the 12I1 plus 6I2, which is equals to 6. Further 6 will be common. So twice I1 plus I2 equals to 1. And we get the value, that is 4I2 plus 2 times I2 minus I1 minus 8I2, which is equals to minus 4. In short, we have to put Ix equals to I2. Whatever the Ix will be given in equation number 1 and 2, put I2 and simplify both the equation, and we get the equation as 3 and 4. So by simplifying, equation number 3 and 4 put in the matrix form. So matrix form will be like this. So 2 1 1 1 bracket over I1 I2, which is equals to 1 2. If we find a delta, so we get in mode 2 1 1 1 mode over 2 minus 1, so delta equals to 1. Our aim is to find the value of I2. So to find out the value of I2, we adopt the equation that Ix equals to I2. So 2 1 1 2 divided by delta. So cross multiplication we have to done. 4 minus 1 divided by 1, that is equals to 3 ampere. So this is our final answer, that is Ix equals to I2 equals to 3 ampere using mass current analysis. So this is all about the mass analysis. So finally we get the value of I2, that is 3 ampere. Using Cramer method, we can calculate the value of I2. This is all about the Cramer's rule. Now, dear students, we discuss about the concept of supermesh. If more than 2 loops are given or more than 3 loops are given, so many more equations we have to build up, and it is very complicated to solve the current value. So to solve out this problem, one concept is to be adopted, and that name is concept of supermesh. So what is the supermesh? What is this concept? Let us discuss. If a network, if a given network is to be analyzed on mesh analysis method, there is no problem as long as the network has only voltage source. However, if the network has one or more current sources in the network, KVL equations as such cannot be applied to the meshes containing current sources, as a voltage across the current source is not known. In a second method, we assume that the current source to be open circuited and create a new mesh called the super mesh. So what we should do if a common current source is given between two loops? So for that condition, we assume that current source will be open and we develop one major loop. So we merge the two loop and make one loop, so that equation will be reduced for one loop, and finally we get the value easily. A supermesh is constituted by two adjacent meshes that have a common current source. Supermesh is nothing but it is constituted by two adjacent meshes that have a common current source. Two meshes which have a common current source, so we assume that current source should be open, and we have developed more big one mesh. We then apply KVL only those meshes in the modified network. This technique is useful as it does not increase the number of equations. This is the major advantage. It does not increase the number of equations. So number of equations will be reduced and your calculation make easy, and you have to find each and every quantity, either it will be voltage or current or power. So it is necessary to make a super mesh in a network that have a common current source. So let us discuss one example of super mesh, that is example number 2. For a network of following figure, determine the current in 4 ohm resistor using mesh analysis. So as per the definition, we made the super mesh if two meshes have a common current source. So this is our main figure. So identify the common current source between two meshes. Consider mesh number 1 and 2. So we can easily see that over here the 3 ampere is common between mesh 1 and 3. So as per the super mesh concept, we open the 3 ampere and we develop super mesh like this. And we have to just make two equation for mesh 1 and for mesh 2. And we identify the value which will be asked in your exam. So question is that for a network of following figure, determine the current in 4 ohm resistor using mesh analysis. So we have to find the value of current flowing from 4 ohm resistor. Okay, so let us start the example. So from this figure we can see that super mesh is built up in this way because 3 ampere current source is common between mesh 1 and mesh 3, and we have to open and super mesh is developed, and we have to find the value of current flowing from 4 ohm. So let us start this example. Assume I1, I2, I3 as shown in figure. In exam, current is not given. We have to add up the I1, I2, I3 for the particular loop, and current source is open circuited, creating new mesh called super mesh as we seen earlier, and redraw the figure as shown in figure B. So new figure will be developed. Apply Kirchhoff voltage law to mesh 2 and super mesh. So we have to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law to mesh 2 and super mesh. So for mesh 2, equation will be like this: 6I2, 6. So current flowing from 6 ohm, that is I2. So 6I2, go clockwise, plus 4 I2 minus I3, plus 4 I2 minus I3, plus 2 again, go forward. So this direction. So plus 2 I2 minus I1. So again we write over here plus 2 I2 minus I1, which is equals to 0. Again friends, we recall the mesh 2 equation, that is 6I2 plus 4 I2 minus I3 plus 2 I2 minus I1, which is equals to 0. So equation for loop 2 will be developed like this. So this is our equation. By simplifying, we get this equation: minus I1 plus 6I2 minus 2I3, which is equals to 0. Again, the equation for the super mesh will be built up like this. So super mesh will be this one. So let us start. So 2 I1 minus I2. So 2 I1 minus I2 we have to write over here. So 2 I1 minus I2. Go forward, plus 4 I2 minus I3 plus 4 I2 minus I3 plus 4. So this is given over here, I3 minus I2. So why I3 minus I2? Because quantity of current flowing from the loop 3 is more. So I3 minus I2 we have to adapt over here. So I3 minus I2. Again go forward, plus 2 I3 plus 2 I3. Then go clockwise again. So this direction, minus 2 plus, minus 2 plus means charging mode. So minus 8 equal to 0, and minus 8 goes to the right hand side. So minus 8 is comes to the plus 8, which is given. So by simplifying super mesh equation, we get the I1 minus 3I2 plus 3I3 equals to 4, equation number 2. So this is our 2 equation. So Here I1, I2 and I3, three quantities achieved. So from two meshes we achieve the two equation, but this is made 3 by 3 matrix necessarily because three quantity is given. So there is no third equation we have to develop, but from the figure we can see that I1 minus I3 equals to 3. So from figure we see that I1 minus I3. Where is I1? So earlier we made the mesh over here, 3 ampere. So we can write from equation figure number A, that is I1 minus I3, that is 3 ampere is given. So by default one equation we achieve from the figure number A, that is I1 minus I3 equals to 3 ampere, because the difference of I1 and I3 that is given over here, I1 minus I3 equals to 3 ampere. So if we develop super mesh, that also release one equation. So difference of mesh 1 and mesh 3 is 3 ampere. So finally we can write over here that I1 minus I3 equals to 3 ampere. So dear students, we now have three equations, 1, 2 and 3. So we can easily form the matrix, 3 by 3 matrix using Cramer's rule. So find the value of delta, that is 14 we achieve. Find the value of I1. So 0, 6 minus 2, 4, 3, 4 minus 3, 3, 3, 0, 1 divided by delta, that is 14. So simplifying we get the value of I1, that is 4.2 ampere, approximate value we have to take over here, that is 4 ampere. So similarly we can find the value of I2 and I3. As per the previous case, if we find the value of I1, so same process will be repeat for the I2 and I3. So we get the 1 ampere in both the case. And we have to find the value of current through 4 ohm resistor, that is nothing but the difference of I2 and I3, I2 minus I3. So I2 is 1 ampere, I3 is 1 ampere. So current from 4 ohm resistors is I2 minus I3, that is 1 minus 1, that is 0. This is our final answer. So this is nothing but the super mesh concept for mesh analysis. So this is all about the mesh analysis. Another example we have took over here, that is example number 3. This example is asked in recent exam March 2019 for 7 marks. So let us discuss. The question is that determine the power delivered by the voltage source and current in the 10 ohm resistors for following circuit. So one circuit is given over here. So first of all we determine the super mesh. So super mesh is developed only when one current source is common between two meshes. So let us see which current source is common. So 3 ampere is common between loop 1 and loop 2. So let us open the current source and make one major loop over here. And same equation will develop as we seen in the example number 2 over here. Okay, so let us start the example. So from the figure, first of all, which quantity we have to add up directly from the figure. So I3 equals to 10 ampere is given already. So I3 is 10 ampere is given already. So we does not find the value of I3 because by the figure, from the figure, we can easily add up the value of I3. So one answer is already given from the figure. So I3 is equals to 10 ampere. Apply Kirchhoff voltage law in super mesh. Now we apply the KVL in super mesh. So 5I2, so 5I2 plus 5I2 plus 5I2, sorry, 5I1. First of all, start from the 5 ohm from the loop 1. Okay, so 5I1, so 5I1, because the I1 will be flow from the first loop. So consider the clockwise direction like this. So plus 5 I2 because I2 will be flow. Again plus 10 plus 10 I2 minus I1, I2 minus I1 plus 1 plus 1 I1 minus I3, I1 minus I3. Again clockwise minus to plus, that is minus. So minus 50 equal to 0. 50 goes to the right hand side. So we get the plus 50 equal to plus 50. So by simplifying, we get 6I1 plus 15I2 minus 11I3 equals to 50. So equation number 1. But we have the value of I3, that is 10. Okay. So further we put the value of I3. So put I3 equals to 10 in equation number 1, and we finally get the equation number 1 like this. So from the supermesh we can write I1 minus I2, which is equals to 3 ampere. Okay, so we get the value of mesh equation, supermesh equation, that is 6I1 plus 15I2 equals to 160, and we have the I1 minus I2 equals to 3 from the supermesh loop. Okay, so we have the two equation now, that is I1 minus I2 equals to 3, 6I1 plus 15I2 equals to 160. So by solving equation number 2 and 4, so we get the value of I1, that is 9.76 ampere, and I2 will be 6.76 ampere, and I3 will be already given. Okay, so by Cramer's rule we can easily add up the value of I1 and I2, and I3 already we have, that is 10 ampere. So here the calculation is given. So 6 I1 minus 6 I2 equals to 13. 6 I1 plus 15 I2 equals to 160. Sorry, that must be 18. So multiply by 6 and multiply by 1, we have the value of I2, that is 6.76 ampere. So by putting the value of I2 in equation number 2, so we get the value of I1. So I1 equals to 9.76 ampere. So power delivered by the voltage source, that is V into I1. Equation is VI, power equation P equals to VI. So we get the 50 into 9.76, that is 488 watt. And current in 10 ohm resistor, that is the difference of I3 and I2. So I3 minus I2. I3 is already given from the main figure, that is 10 ampere, minus value of I2 that we find, that is 6.76. So put over here, and we get the current through 10 ohm resistor IR10, that is 3.24 ampere. So this is our first answer. This is our second answer. So it is easy example, and we get the exact 7 marks if we fulfill all these criteria. So, dear student, today we discuss one normal example of mesh analysis and two more example of super mesh analysis. So, in next video, we discuss about more three examples of mesh current analysis. So, by that you can easily know and easily understood and easily you have to solve the all the example of mesh analysis. Thank you.